Hello, IGN. My name is Jose Otero, and I'm joined once again by Chris Grant from Games Done Quick.
Hey, Jose, it's exciting to be joining you here.
Yes, we are so excited because Summer Games Done Quick is coming up. Now, this is a marathon event from July 3rd to July 10th, and who are the proceeds going to this time, Chris?
They're going to Doctors Without Borders, or Médecins Sans Frontières. They're an organization that does a lot of worldwide care. For example, they did a lot of support for the Ebola crisis last year.
Oh, wow. Okay. And so as part of sort of to build your awareness of this, Chris has decided to stop by, and we have a couple of videos on the site already, but this one is very special because this game is celebrating its 20th anniversary, and that is Pokemon. Specifically, Chris will be playing Pokemon Blue. Oh, my name's in this. Yeah.
It's you. You're the one running this for reals.
It's totally me. Well, Chris is at the controls. I'm here watching. Oh, what are we going to call my rival?
Well, I flew in from Minnesota, so I'm just going to go ahead, toss that down.
Oh, I like it. Okay. What's his name? Minnesota.
Minnesota. We got Minnesota. Our boy Minnesota.
That's awesome. So Summer Games Done Quick is going to kick off with Super Mario Sunshine at noon. What time zone?
Central Standard Time. It actually does take place in Minnesota. So.
Oh, so there we go. Oh, so you're happy like twice over then with that one.
Yeah, it's I got to take one subway ride, and I am already at SGDQ.
Nice. So what category is this run?
Okay, this is Pokemon Blue, no save corruption. There is a Pokemon Red 80% glitchless run at Summer Games Done Quick this year. This run, we're not going to get so much into the combat. We will be battling some Pokemon, but we're going to do some kind of weird stuff. And Pokemon Red, the other run at SGDQ, will be a lot more involved. It's longer, but you get to see a lot more of the game. We're going to do some fun stuff. Like, I love what we're going to do, but it's very different.
Yeah, now Chris has kept all of this a secret from me, and I have not. Pokemon is one of the. It's funny because you picked 3 games that I have not watched, even though I'm pretty, in terms of at IGN, me and coworker James Faulkner watch everything we can during either SGDQ or AGDQ. So I'm really happy with the games that you decided to choose.
So what's fun about speedruns is, it's almost every game.
Yeah.
There will be some exceptions. For example, a Guitar Hero would be a hard game to speedrun, but I've even seen people speedrun Peggle, and it's interesting because it can go horribly wrong. Yeah. Peggle Knights, Peggle Deluxe, it's a hell of a run.
Yeah, whereas Guitar Hero, maybe the speedrun is just well, that's not true. I was gonna say play anything by Dragon Force, and maybe that's the closest, but not really.
It's not really a speedrun. It's cool to watch. There are some great Guitar Hero players out there, and it's actually cool to see. We made our own custom tracks because we want to be able to play the hardest thing possible, and they just nail it perfectly.
Yeah.
That's fun to watch, but it's not really a speedrun. Still very cool, though.
Absolutely. So he picked the Charmander, you went with... So why'd you pick Bulbasaur? Is there a reason?
There is a reason that will come up later. Bulbasaur is not my favorite Pokemon. This first fight is actually incredibly important, and we got kind of an iffy Bulbasaur. He's not doing that much damage, and the goal for the fights is really beat enemies as quickly as possible. There's a reason why it would be okay to go slower, but for this first fight, because we're going to get fully healed and everything back at the end, it doesn't really matter. We just want to knock out this Charmander ASAP.
Got it. Okay. Interestingly enough, as part of the history lesson for this, even though Pokemon, the series, which came out on February 27, 1996 in Japan, started with Red and Green, Pokemon Blue did not have into Japan until October of 1999. Just a fun fact for folks. And a lot of the graphics for when this was released in the West were redrawn. So if you've ever seen the original Red and Green, Charmander doesn't look like that. He actually looks like he's busting through the wall, Kool-Aid Man style. Kind of like the little graphic to the left, but a little different.
So we got the bad Charmander, is what you're saying.
I don't know, actually. That's a good question. I was just fascinated because I downloaded the Japanese versions of this because they are on the eShop, and my mind was blown because I forgot over time. Oh, yeah, Red and Green had different art when they came out than what eventually happened in Blue when it came out here.
Yeah, the localization for these games was, I don't know if they expected it to be as big as it would be here.
Yeah.
And it's just, it was a surprise factor. It's oh, okay, we actually got them over there. Let's just give them everything at this point. Once Blue made it, and everything was kind of a hit.
Yeah.
At first, just we'll toss them something. We'll see what they get.
Oh, yeah, I still remember. I still have, magazine covers from when Pokemon was coming out and just how it exploded. And it was interesting because people were not sure. Sure, it was this big phenomenon in Japan, but would that translate to the Western audience? And the answer eventually became yes, it absolutely will.
Absolutely positive. Yeah. As someone that at one point was on the Queen Mary in Southern California for a Pokemon tournament, it got me.
On the Queen Mary?
Yeah, they had a worldwide. I lost my deck as I went there, so I didn't compete. But it was just like this is the big Pokemon trading card game tournament, and I remember like it was on a big old boat.
Nice. So outside of this is the normal progression path. So what's your next objective? What are you going towards here?
We have to go towards Brock's gym, and we're gonna do some fun stuff there. Right now, this beginning is essentially standard.
Okay.
The one thing we do want to do is pick up some items, make sure we have a couple potions, just because I don't want to get knocked out.
Yep.
I also don't want to heal at the Pokemon Center too. Is the other part of this? Part of it is it's just not very fast. The other part is I need to have a certain amount of PP left for my abilities.
Got it. Okay, and reminder to folks, PP is just the category that sort of dictates how many moves you have left.
Yeah, I think is it power points that it stands
for? Probably. I know with Pokemon Go they changed that title to combat points. I believe is how they call it now, a CP. But that's just because that game is sort of going in a different direction. It's not what this is in some ways, and in a lot of ways it is. It's fascinating that thing to talk about.
Let's see. I do have to get Bulbasaur to level 7. That's why I'm kind of getting into these little fights versus Rattatas and Pidgeys. Like
and this is before they had that awesome, like in the sequel, they added the bar that essentially shows you how close you are on XP to leveling, which was so important. I still think that Gold and Silver is among the greatest sequels of all time because of how many ideas they crammed into that game.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. We almost got knocked out by Rattata.
That's why there was a nervous giggle while
there
I was talking.
There was definitely a sigh of just relief because we were down to 3 HP. Bulbasaur missing 2 attacks in a row. I mean, it's Pokemon. It happens. Pokemon speedrunning is very random.
Yeah.
There is a faster version to do this run, and you have to reset to get the right Bulbasaur stats. Like it is brutal.
Oh man. Okay.
But it's okay. We beat the Rattata. We beat
Minnesota.
the level 3 Rattata.
Yeah, Minnesota coming to talk smack.
He just wants his Pokédex too. We're actually not gonna see Minnesota for the rest of the run.
Okay. Oh really?
Like after we leave this room, Minnesota's gone.
Okay.
It's actually
that sentence must make you sad. Like it just Minnesota's gone.
I mean, I've only lived there for a couple months, so I'm okay with it right now.
Okay.
You know, I like it, but
go Twins. Go Twins.
Yeah, that's not convincing anybody in Minnesota, man. No. They are doing so badly this season. Everybody I talk to in Minnesota they'll deal with it. They'll be like, I hope they win, but if they lose, I hope they don't lose by too much.
Yeah, no. Every ball club goes through those rough transitions, I'm sure.
Yeah.
All right, so where are you headed next? So did you hit level 7 yet?
We hit level 7.
Okay.
We got to go through, I believe, Viridian Forest.
Okay.
You have to deliver Oak's parcel to proceed.
Okay.
That's the start of this game. If not, there is a very angry man who has not had his coffee yet, is how they justify it. I need to also not get knocked out, which I love that I have to say at this point in the game.
Yeah, this is pretty close. Okay, yeah, you're running away at this early junction. I remember just spending all my time trying to fight everything.
I remember when I first got the game, I knew you could capture Pokemon. I did not know you knew how to buy Pokeballs, so I spent a long time just trying to fight and get Pokemon in that first brush.
I guess that is the first, it's the first rule you kind of learn. Oh, you gotta, there's Pokeballs for that. Oh, really?
So there's a few secret item locations where if you search it, you'll just pick something up. We're gonna actually use a bunch of those during the run.
Okay.
And the advantage here is I can get a potion so my Bulbasaur cannot die the second I get into a fight. Coming up is actually the hardest fight for a lot of runs.
Okay.
The level, I believe, 9 Weedle. In Viridian Forest.
No, continue. I'm sorry.
Most runs don't use Bulbasaur, so the advantage here with Bulbasaur is he's actually not weak to it at all.
There was a bit of fear in your voice when you said the level 9.
The level 9 Weedle.
Yeah.
The problem is he can poison you, and both Squirtle and Charmander have a much harder time with him.
Okay, got it. So picking Bulbasaur was your... So what happens if you faint? I mean, is the run over? We have to start over?
No,
is
I can save it. It just wastes a bunch of time. So it's like, I'm going to stock up on potions. I got the antidote just in case. Yeah. I need the items anyways, so it's not a huge waste of time to pick them up.
Yeah.
And the importance of the items will come into play later.
Got it. Yeah, no, just, friend of the show, David Pooh Bear Hunt, was on our podcast and into the voice chat, and he mentioned something he had heard of, resets set records. Like, I think was what he had said. I think that was the saying. And it's just this thing where, like, sometimes you have to reset. Sometimes you have to start the whole run over, either because it's lost or just because you're not going to make progress.
I mean, well, if you think about it too, like the level of competition for games like this, like Pokemon Red and Pokemon Blue, they got a pretty big following, it turns out, and even in the speedrunning community, there are I believe, over 100 runners that have run recently.
Oh, wow.
Like within the past, I'd say, year.
Okay.
So at that level of competition, getting a better run, it's not just, I got to improve my own time. It's I got to compete with everybody, and getting those records is hard.
Yep. The dreaded
The
level 9 Weedle.
It's okay. I think we'll do all right. Even if we get poison, we should be okay. I have enough potions just kind of to force my way through this. And I'm starting with a critical hit. It's not bad, Bulbasaur.
Yeah, no, it's a good start. It's definitely a good start.
Realistically, you wanted to use nothing but String Shot and not crit me a bunch of times.
Yeah, you hope. You hope he sticks to string shot.
But you roll with it. He does have a max damage of, I believe, 8. So as long as I don't toe the line too much, I'll be fine. So I'll be using potions early. I'll be anticipating the critical hits, because if you try and play like assume he won't crit, he's gonna crit.
Okay. Oh, that's a bad sign. Do we have him?
Okay. Nah, not quite.
Okay, yeah. Good call. Good call.
Pop the potion.
This is
This
even I'm nervous. I'm just like, you got this, right? Yeah. I mean, at this point.
So this is actually the last fight we have to win.
Okay. Really? That's
specifically win. Like
okay. I thought it was just the last fight we were gonna have. You're like, no,
we got some other fights,
win.
but we gotta win this fight.
Got it.
Because if not, we can't proceed.
Okay.
I'm gonna get into a few fights here. And this is because going back to the PP, I need to have a certain amount of PP for each skill except Leech Seed. Leech Seed, who cares about?
Okay.
Let's see how many I have in Tackle.
Yep.
I'll have to get into another fight. I'll kill this guy. I don't want to level up too. That's also important.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that actually. So you're trying to actively avoid leveling this character up. If you did level, even by accident, so let's just say, how high can you go?
I'd have to hit level 10 if I leveled up to 9.
Okay, got it. But you don't want to go past 10 is the idea.
Yes.
Okay.
So we gotta go back and forth in this bush a bit.
Yep. Bring it on.
I mean, this is the classic Pokemon experience when you're trying to find that one Pokemon you actually want. And I should be in an okay spot now to set up my growls.
Okay, cool. God, seeing this game again. It's just that not that long ago, this came out on the eShop. So to me, it's like, oh yeah, like we have access to this game all the time now, whereas it took forever for it to finally get re-released. And to Pokemon Company's credit, it was really cool to see them enable trading and battling. Because I just feel like these games were never stationary experiences. So to reissue them, that was kind of an important thing.
I mean, definitely, like, this is a fun game to play through solo, but I'd say if you're not doing something like a speed run, playing it on an old Game Boy just doesn't have that same feel, because you're never going to find someone to play it with.
Exactly,
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, totally. Yeah, I'm really glad that they went through with that. Are you actually going to Leech Seed? Oh,
no.
You're just reorganizing moves there.
Let's see. Okay. For a second, I thought I used too many abilities. Can't escape. Okay, I'm glad to get the can't escape here.
Okay.
I'm so slow, so it's hard to escape. Luckily, the Caterpie's been growled a bunch of times. There we go.
And there you go. Got it. So now where are you headed? We've gotten past the Weedle.
I need to buy some items. I need to actually switch around just for my own sake to make sure I don't goof anything up. I'm gonna swap the potion antidote.
Yep.
And we need to head to the Pokemart. We're gonna do an interesting glitch. I don't want to give you the name of it because it might reveal too much.
Okay.
But it'll make a lot of sense in it. Well,
I trust you, Chris.
It's about to make a lot less sense in a second.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nothing could make less sense than you jumping through memory map buffers and things
okay,
like that.
You might be right on that one. That's going to be hard to compare to,
Yeah.
but this is something special.
If you're wondering what I mean by that, you should check out on IGN. There are 2 other speedrun videos that Chris was gracious enough to stop by and do with us. One was for A Boy and His Blob, Trouble in Blobolonia, and the other mind-bending experience came from Super Mario Land 2 6 Golden Coins, which Chris managed to run through in like 6 minutes, I want to say.
Something like that.
Maybe 5. I didn't run the timer on it,
Okay.
unfortunately.
You remember this guy? So I paused the menu after talking to him. This guy
Yes.
leads you to Brock's gym normally. Because I paused the menu.
Yeah, where is he? He's gone.
He just didn't want to come with us, but it's okay. He's gonna catch up with us. Like, he's got some words to say, and
Okay.
there he is.
Oh, and then he just he's the invisible kid. Got it.
So you don't actually need to follow him there.
Okay.
You just need to reset the game.
Okay. For sure.
I've reset it. I don't know if you noticed where I saved it. I saved where you talk to him.
Yep.
So it's gonna do something kind of odd.
Okay.
We're gonna get into conversation the second I'm able to talk to him, or I'm able to be in the game.
Whoa.
And then if I hold right,
Okay.
He'll pop in and then just kind of disappear because he doesn't really know what he's doing. He's trying to approach us.
So this is a skip, essentially.
Kind of. The reason I had to level up my Pokemon or to with a certain PP was because if you talk to this guy from the right, the game will crash because it doesn't know what to do with you because you can't really talk to him from there.
Got it.
So,
Wait, what?
I've now set it so I can walk through walls because the game thinks I'm still talking to him and he's leading me around. And he is actually. If you look at the top of the screen, there he is. He just wants to tell me about Brock's gym, but I'm just walking through walls instead.
Let you go.
Yeah, I mean, you can walk through him actually.
Oh, that's so cool.
So this glitch is called Brock Through Walls.
Oh, how clever!
Yeah.
A writer came up with that. I love a good pun. That's really good.
And like I said, because the game thinks he's still leading us somewhere, we can kind of do anything.
Okay.
I have to hold down the B button. If I let go of the B button, the pause menu will instantly pop up because it doesn't know what the hell's going on. It's very confused. If I walk into the wrong spot where there isn't like a loading zone for it, the game will crash. So I'm going to go ahead and try and avoid doing that.
I love how this stuff gets discovered. The stories around this stuff just blows my mind.
Especially with an older game like Pokemon.
Yes.
It's on an older console. It's easier to go ahead and jump into the actual memory of the game and see what happens.
Yeah.
And very importantly, because you can track it easily, you can also do a lot of test experimentation. It's harder with a more modern game, like anything on the Wii U, for example, is going to be much harder to find memory glitches.
And they dedicate time to kind of plugging in every hole they can to make sure that you can't bust through it. That's why something like Wind Waker HD doesn't have the storage glitch anymore. So the way that you were able to speed swim from island to island is gone now, to an extent. I mean, I feel like other techniques eventually popped up and took its place. As long as Nintendo doesn't patch it, they're all good. You know what I mean?
And there's a reason for companies to patch it. Like I have made peace with that. Game companies will go well, if this ruins the game or people are exploiting it, especially a multiplayer game, it's you got to get rid of it ASAP.
Exactly. Yeah. No. I've always as well had that sympathy towards. Well, I can understand wanting to keep a product in as pristine a condition as possible. You just don't want someone to have a terrible experience. Makes sense. So what's your next objective? You've now walked through walls.
I brocked through walls. I need to get this coin case.
Brocked through walls.
It's a great. I love glitch names.
Yeah, I love that. That's good.
I believe I want to say it might be Ocarina of Time has the Skippy Skip, which you have to perform the tricky trick is how they labeled that one.
Okay. So we're talking about the bugs thing towards the end that takes you straight to the Ganon fight.
I'm not sure if that's Skippy Skip.
Yeah, I don't think that's Skippy Skip. I've never heard that name.
I just want to say this is my favorite guy because he gives you coins, and then if you talk to him again, he needs more coins.
Really?
Yeah, he's just man, I wish I had more coins. Well, thank you for giving me coins, but why did you do that?
Yep, I like him.
So this is a big difference between Pokemon Blue and Red, and this is just me I'm gonna vent for 9-year-old Chris Grant, which is I had Pokemon Red. Everything here was way more expensive, and this 120 Abra is awesome, and I love it, and that's what we need for this run. So Pokemon Blue ends up being a little bit faster.
Oh, got it, and not as expensive as you said.
Yes. So the reason we need the Abra is because we can't. Well, once we go through the guard post of the city, all the guards are thirsty, and they'll be like, "Man, I wish I had a drink, but this place is closed, so go away." So I need to be able to teleport and get back into the city, and that's what I'm going to be using the Abra for, as well as to enable a different glitch.
Okay.
Okay, and we don't need our Bulbasaur anymore. Go away.
Yeah.
He's not the chosen Pokemon. He will not be in the Hall of Fame.
Got it. I mean, speaking of chosen Pokemon in Hall of Fame, I mean, who will ever forget Twitch plays Pokemon? I mean, it just kicked off in my head for a second ago. There was all this craziness that happened because someone figured out a way to use an emulator and get a bunch of people watching a game to try and play it together.
Okay, so this is called the Trainer Flag Glitch.
Yep. Wait, what?
So I entered that guy's vision. He wants to challenge me, but I paused before he could do that.
Okay.
And I teleported back. And it's going to do something really odd in a second.
Okay.
Well, you know what? I've changed my mind. I want to be a Pokemon master. I want to battle. Let's do some battles.
Okay. You're going straight to the elite.
Straight to the gym. No, not straight to Elite Four. They're the next step. We gotta beat some dudes up. We gotta beat up this first guy. But I want him to come to me.
Okay.
If I walk in front of this guy right now, the game will crash because the other guy was supposed to walk towards me, but I teleported away.
Okay. So now you have to use sort of that left side of the room in order to get up there.
Yeah, I gotta get him to take a couple steps, and now the game won't crash. And you know what? We got an Abra. versus level 31 Machop. But we know that Psychic is stronger versus Fighting. So this guy's gonna just lose, right?
Oh no.
Well, I mean, it happens. It
Okay.
happens.
Okay. So you blacked out.
It's what can you do?
I'm sure you can do something. That's why I'm not trying to. Wait, is this supposed to happen or not supposed to happen?
This is supposed to happen.
Okay,
The level 6
just
average does not
checking.
beat the level 31
Just
Machop.
checking.
I did not press start there. What the heck?
Okay. Oh no. Wait, what? What are you doing? Oh, you're kidding me. Really? Missing no. That's a classic.
And we actually, I mean, we don't want to fight him. There's other runs where you could capture him that use this
Okay.
route, but do you remember that what happens when you see a missing no?
Refresh it for the folks at home. What happens?
Okay, because clearly you remember, and you would not be trying to get out of answering the question. I just got a bunch of items. Oops.
Okay.
I got items in my 6th slot.
Okay.
128 of them. And what this is going to let me do is I have to do this twice. I have to get 255 items to max out how many I can hold. And older games like this, they had a limit on how many numbers you could hold, and that's just
right.
because of that was the size of the memory they used.
That's right.
So we're gonna max out our paralyze heals. That's why I swapped the coin case earlier.
Okay.
I don't know if you noticed that, where it just I moved it out of place to the 6th slot because the 6th slot is the one that gets all the new items.
Got it.
And and what happens is the missing no is being generated because it's loading the last Pokemon in memory. One of the stats is being used to generate it. It's this long convoluted explanation, but essentially by getting into this fight with Machop with the Abra, we'll eventually summon Missing Nose after doing the Trainer Fly glitch.
Got it.
You can actually summon Mew. Oops, I can't run. What am I doing? You can summon Mew that way. That was the legit way to get Mew in this game. Was to use the Trainer Fly glitch to essentially glitch it.
Legit in quotes, right?
Legit in quotation marks.
I was gonna say, hang on a second. I have been dying to meet someone who has the legit Mew certificate of authenticity that Nintendo would give out when they gave that thing away. Just going back to the history of this game. But no, that was a really good explanation of the missing no. In general, I wish I knew my history on that stuff as well as you do.
I mean, I'm actually not the biggest member of the Pokemon community.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is a cool run. I saw a friend do it honestly really recently, and it's I gotta learn this run.
Yeah.
But the entire Pokemon speedrun community is super well defined, super cool. I'm gonna save here just to be safe.
Yep.
Because this is something that is very breakable.
Got it.
And I realize a lot of this has been broken, but this one, if I screw up, it's essentially run over.
Okay.
Okay. So we got too many paralyzed heals, right? So I'm gonna throw away. Oops, did I put that in the right place? No.
Okay.
Okay. So everything has to be in the right spot for this.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna toss out this potion, and we're gonna get more paralyzed heals. I'm gonna toss out this antidote. We're
Okay.
gonna get more paralyzed heals. Toss out all my paralyzed heals. And you know what we're gonna get? More paralyzed heals.
Oh wait.
And what's happening is I'm setting up the game because it's not used to having this many items.
Mhm.
I'm setting up the game to essentially trick it.
Okay.
I'm going to toss all but 2 paralyzed heals. And then... Oop, no, I don't want to toss anymore. Combine. And we have 0 paralyzed heals.
Okay.
But the game thinks we have 255 items now.
Okay.
So I'm going to scroll down. And I'm going to keep scrolling down. Because the game thinks we have these items. And you know what this is, Jose? This is the memory for the game.
Oh wow. Holy cow.
Let's see. Get some TM26s. I gotta swap them with the second Master Ball. And let me. So I'll go back to those because that's how you trigger the end of the game. But if you keep scrolling, you just see all these random items.
Wow.
And eventually, we start seeing this happen,
What?
and the game just doesn't know what's going on.
Okay.
Okay.
Game broken officially at this point.
So let's go ahead and go
Holy.
back to those TM26s.
Okay. That's 32. There's a 26.
Okay. We'll toss 9 of them. And you actually want to know why I named our good friend Gary Minnesota?
No. Yeah. Tell me.
Okay. Because when I enter this room, we are now reaching Professor Oak.
Congratulations.
We beat in the Elite Four. Minnesota with a space leads to this room. The game
What?
read his name as a memory location, and this is where it pointed to.
Wow. So if you picked a different...
If I just picked Minnesota, I had a little space. I don't know if you saw the little space. Of
Yeah.
The space is what pointed here. If not, you end up at like the 4th floor of just a random building.
So you're in the Hall of Fame.
We did it. We
With
beat the Elite Four. We're in the Hall of Fame. You're level
23
6
minutes.
Abra. We saw 8 Pokemon. We have lots to do. Let's find for Pokemon in grassy areas.
This is awesome. This is really cool. And we're done.
Yeah, we did it. That's it. That's Pokemon Blue.
Oh,
and,
man.
I was like, well, like 25 minutes, 30
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah,
Like,
maybe. If
I
that.
I love this run just because it's, you know, you can really go in all in with the game with the normal speed runs, but this is just such a weird collection of glitches.
Yeah, no, and I mean, I'm always in awe of these things because the experience and just seeing it, like my mouth was agape the whole time as you were like scrolling through this item list. That was really cool.
Yeah, no, it's a fun run, and you get to mess with the game's memory. Like, the one hard part about this game, this run, is you can't do it on old cartridges that often because the batteries will die on them.
Okay.
And you
got
need
it,
to
got
save
it.
and quit at one point. That's the only hard part about this game is that
Got it.
there's a heat death with Pokemon Blue batteries dying.
Okay. So give folks the rundown. So Summer Games Done Quick, July 3rd to July 10th. What else do they need to know?
I mean, donations go towards Doctors Without Borders. They're a fantastic charity. Like I said, they provide worldwide assistance to countries in need and during a global emergency. So check them out. We start at noon Central Standard Time with Super Mario Sunshine, a very fun speed run, and we go all day, all night. It's 24 hours of speed runs through the 10th. Like, just go to GamesDoneQuick.com. Check us out at any point next week.
Yeah.
We'll be speed running something.
And check the schedule specifically because you're going to want to plan your sleep schedule around trying to keep up with. Like I usually do, or I usually have it running on the monitor near my desk and get very little done because I'm trying to keep up with
If we ruin
everything.
your week, Jose, that is perfectly acceptable by me. I will gladly destroy your week.
Well, at least it's all for a good cause. Well, there you have it, folks. Summer Games Done Quick is coming up again, July 3rd to July 10th. Thank you so much, Chris, for coming by with these games and playing with us. And for everything awesome, you are already in the right place right here at IGN.